This podcast is being recorded and produced on Gadigal land.
We pay our respects to the traditional custodians of this country and elders past, present.
We extend our respect to any First Nations, Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people joining us today.
Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
I'm Brittney Saunders.
And I'm alright, hey, and this is High Scrollers, the podcast version of your favourite group chat.
If it's trending, going viral or has you gripped, we're talking about it.
Coming up on this episode, I've been at the Eras tour, Dal, but I was pretty unimpressed for a range of reasons. Oh my gosh, me complaining? What's new, Dal?
Plus, I have the best story that has ever been told on a podcast. I'm calling it now. Does Matt agree? Does he think that it was a little long-winded? And did he take the piss out of me during me trying to tell the story? Yes, he did.
Yeah, if you love a story where no detail is left out, stay tuned for that one. It's a good one. Plus, one of Australia's biggest music festivals is trending after being cancelled this week.
And we tell you about some of our own festival experiences, including more stories from me.
Deal me in, doll. Let's go.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm so good. Good to be back. Hi, Scrollers. How are you, dolls?
Guess what?
What?
On the weekend, I was at my cafe. Shout out to Outdo Espresso in Newcastle, which, by the way, Matt, is not in Charlestown.
Oh, yeah. So sorry. Oh, my
What
God.
the fuck? Okay, so for those of you scrollers that don't know, I have a cafe in Newcastle that AJ and I own together, and we've just moved our Fate store next door to it. Anyway, so we did this big grand reopening, and I put on my story where it is. Like, I showed the street and kind of showed the map because some people can't find it or they're like, where the hell is it?
Yeah, if you're not from Newcastle, she showed that it's in a very iconic spot of Newcastle.
Yes, it's like right near this nightclub that AJ and I met at. That's like the only nightclub in Newcastle, basically, and it's so bad. King Street Hotel.
So good.
And then there's King Street Macca's, which is also like the most chaotic McDonald's you've ever been to, especially on like a Friday and Saturday night. And then we're right near there, like literally right near there on that main road. So I put on my story, hey everyone, like this is where we are. This is how to find us if you don't know where we are. And here's Matt replying to my story. And he said, I didn't know that's where it was.
Honestly.
And then I'm like, because he hasn't been there, which is fucked up.
Sorry. I live in Sydney. I'm not driving 2 hours.
Fuck off. I drive 2 hours every Monday for you for this podcast.
I'm coming for a mac and cheese toasty, love.
It is worth the trip.
If I find myself in Newcastle, I will pop into Outdo. But guess what? I never find myself in Newcastle, love.
Well, anyway, he replies to my story going, I had no idea that's where it was.
And
you said, I thought it was in Whoop Whoop. And I'm like, where? And he goes, Charlestown, which is like 20 minutes not in the direction of friggin' Outdo. So even Matt learnt something from my stories.
You learn something every day, love. Sorry, my brain wasn't working. I was in Taylor Swift mode, love,
You
all right?
were.
Sorry, baby. Let the games begin. Let's talk about me, actually.
Yes.
Let's talk about me going viral twice because of my outfit for the Eras tour. Hello, thank you. Best dressed, in my opinion, and everyone else's. Sickening serving
I'm
look.
going to give you a challenge for that.
Okay.
We'll see.
Well, you can come at me on Friday and see what happens. But the other one was me, all the videos of me singing in the background.
Yes.
It's popping off at the moment.
Nice.
So I love that we have a podcast about trending topics because, funnily enough, we
trend.
both are often trending topics.
Yes.
So we just get to talk about ourselves.
Seriously, that's what everyone's here for anyway, let's be real.
Oh my goodness. But anyway, I went to the Eras tour.
Wait. Before we get into that for 1 second. I completely missed the point of what I was talking about Outdo for.
Oh, yeah.
I just wanted to say I was there on the weekend and someone came up to me and said, hey, I'm a scroller.
Oh.
And so I just wanted to give a shout out to that scroller. Because usually we meet people and it's like, I love your Instagram or I love your TikTok. But this girl came up to me and she's like, I love the pod.
Yeah,
And that was like a really nice moment. So that was the whole reason for me talking about that.
Nice.
Anyway, back to Taylor Swift. Sorry, Matt.
Well, hang on, because Outdo, by the way, you got broken into last week.
We did. But I feel like that's a whole story in itself.
Yeah, we'll leave it for close friends on Friday.
You can look forward to
Obviously, you'll know we're uploading 2 episodes a week now. So on Friday, you'll get the full scoop on Outdo being broken into. Anyway, Taylor Swift Eras tour. Yes, I went to Melbourne night 1. It was absolutely spectacular. Everything you would have thought it was and more. And I have been very nervous. I'm sure everyone saw all the stories on Instagram and my TikToks that I posted. So you've already heard about it. I don't need to explain the whole thing to you. But I've been very nervous because I went to Melbourne night one and you and I are actually going to Sydney night one as well, which means I have tickets to 2 Taylor Swift concerts. I'm going to Taylor Swift twice. And
look out.
I've never been cancelled before.
I can see your comments and DMs blowing up as we speak.
I know. I've never been cancelled before, but I think this might do it.
But this is like something that's worth being cancelled over, I think.
Yeah, well, I just think like, honestly, me having tickets to 2 concerts, like I deserve to go to hell. But also...
It is what
had a meet and greet with Satan booked in anyway because hello, I was going there anyway. So basically, this is the thing though. I'd never planned to go to 2 shows. I wasn't just that greedy. It just kind of just happened. You know what I mean?
It did.
It just kind of happened.
Which, by the way, people can't blame you because I was watching the news, weirdly, on the TV over the weekend, like on night one. And they'd done some big interview with like a mega fan of Taylor Swift. And he had gotten a ticket to every single show in Australia. And they did a whole segment. So if you're getting cancelled, that fan is what? Getting killed?
This is what I was going to say is...
There's a lot of people going lots of times.
I felt guilty the last couple of weeks for going twice. And now that guilt is kind of leaving me because I've seen online people going to 7 shows, 6 shows, 5 shows, 4 shows. On TikTok especially, I'm seeing like people who have tickets to 4+ shows. And because I'm interested in them, they're showing me all of them on my algorithm, obviously. And people are being really nice about the whole thing. So I'm like, surely I can get away with 2 shows, especially when I didn't kind of like mean this. So I'll tell you the story. Basically, on the day that the tickets went live, I was tasked with getting 4 tickets for people that I knew because they were all at work. And I was like, look, Joel, I have it sitting up there at the computer while I, go do my life. While I'm working, I'll also try and get your Taylor Swift tickets for you because I can do that. And so I got 4 tickets. And then they forgot to update me that they were also able to try at work as well. So they got their own tickets. So then I had 4 tickets and I was like, okay, so I've got 4 tickets, but I was already going in Melbourne. So then I thought I'll do the whole, Ticketek marketplace thing, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, just forgot, couldn't be bothered. Forgot about it. Too busy, love. And I was more focused on my show in Melbourne anyway that I just literally, I know it sounds ridiculous, but forgot about the 4 tickets. So then I decided, right, what I'll do is I'll try and get rid of them, just give them to whoever wants them, like people that I know. And so I found people that I knew wanted to go and missed out, including you.
Yes.
So you got one of them. And then I found 2 other people to give those tickets to as well. And then I thought to myself, well, look, first of all, big shit fight trying to transfer the tickets over to someone else's name. Second of all, I've now given 3 people who missed out on tickets the opportunity to go when they didn't have the opportunity to go.
Exactly right.
If it wasn't for me,
they
3
wouldn't be going.
people,
and me.
they would not have been able to go. So therefore, as, an act of kindness to myself, I think I deserve. I've given 3 places. Surely I deserve 1, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I've gone to 2 shows. I can already see the DMs. Don't bother because I just don't care. You know what I mean? Like I do care, but I also am like, well, what's done is done.
It is what it is. I also saw on TikTok people being pissed off at parents that take their kids, right? Because obviously they need to go with parent/guardian. And people were saying that they were disappointed to see how many parents were there, mums, dads, whatever, with their kids. And the kid was obviously having the time of their life, but the parent was obviously not interested at all and just sat on their phone and with no interest in the concert. And I saw like a lot of outrage about that, saying outrage fucking hell outrage about that. And people were saying like a Swiftie could have went, and I saw people saying I would have went with the daughter and like looked after the kid if I could have gone. And so like it's just a really touchy subject, isn't it?
That's the other reason that I don't feel as guilty, because I've actually experienced the concert and the people around me. It was so wild to be there, thinking about how many Swifties missed out on tickets to the concert. To experience some of the behaviour around me was mind-boggling. Of course, where I was sitting, there were a lot of Swifties having the time of their lives. We're all making friends with each other, doing the friendship bracelets, swapping the friendship bracelets. Like, it was just so wholesome. We were making jokes with each other, having fun. But, like, around us, we saw so many people, like, for example, girls in a group of 4, 2 girls and their 2 boyfriends. The 2 boyfriends had no interest going to the bar every 5 minutes. I had people getting absolutely smashed, slaughtered, drunk around me, vomiting up the stairs, all the rest of it. I looked to the left of me like someone was just playing Candy Crush the entire time on their phone. I looked to the right of me. There was a couple there who honestly, I reckon did not know a single song and just took selfies of each other the whole night. Like, didn't even care about Taylor Swift.
Why did they go?
For me, I don't know. This is what's so mind-boggling to me. And also the amount of empty seats as well. I know that, like, some flights were cancelled, so some people couldn't actually make the concert. But even with the cancelled flights, there were, like, more empty seats than I thought. There was also so much more space on the ground to fit more seats in that they could have sold. And there were so many restricted view seats that weren't available to purchase, but I was like, surely you could have put them on for even 20, 40, 50 bucks.
Well, I saw people post that they'd bought the restricted seats, like some of them that were available for like $60 on the day, and then they had a really great view.
And they're amazing views, yeah.
Like a better view than a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then I saw the $800 tickets, did you see people posting, and then there was that big tent in front of them, and then they all had to get moved?
I don't feel as bad anymore that I'm going to 2 shows because of what I experienced at the show and also seeing those people online who are going to 6 or 7. Like, you know what I mean?
And guess what, Matt?
What?
In 2 months, people won't remember.
Yeah, I know. I'll be cancelled. I won't be able to pay my bills, but I'll be the only one that remembers.
If you're going to hate on Matt for going twice, you better continue hating forever and ever. Because if you're just going to hate him for now, like, what's the point?
Okay. Well, maybe get over it as quickly as you can.
That's what I'm
move
saying.
on.
Like, you know, like, what's the point of just, like, why would they
Why
just
don't you be angry at Andy Lee? Sorry, let's bring him up. Hamish and Andy.
What do you do?
Well, there's a TikTok going viral of him at Taylor Swift. Doesn't know a single word to any of the songs. He has a really good seat, like way up the front.
He would have not paid for that ticket, surely.
No,
he would have got it for free.
Not. Yeah, probably. But then why aren't you angry at him? Why is no one angry at him for going and not knowing a single word and taking up a Swiftie spot? He looked almost miserable, not knowing any of the words, just looking around like very awkward. I'll show you the video soon. But very awkward, very like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. So I think there are people who you can be angrier at, is what I'm saying. So I don't mind if you're angry at me, but I think you should direct your anger to other people.
Going back to last week, for those of you that listened to last week's episode where I spoke about, and which, by the way, I feel like we broke the internet again a little bit there.
Lots of people had many opinions.
We were on the radio show in Newcastle.
Oh, that's right.
I saw Jess on the weekend. She was like, thanks for the content. Like, she said thanks. I was like, you're welcome. We need to come up with more things so that people can start promoting us. But we have an update. For those of you that didn't listen or if you don't know, apparently at Coles, if there is no barbecue chickens available when you go there, you can go up to the deli and they can give you a voucher for a free one. I didn't know this. Well, we have an update. We have heard from Coles and they have given us a statement exclusively for the pod.
Literally, a Coles spokesperson has reached out to high scrollers to set the record straight.
All right.
They have said,
as part of Coles' RSPCA-approved hot roast chicken promise, we strive to ensure they are available when our customers want them most. As such, customers are eligible to collect a voucher for a free RSPCA hot roast chicken to use within 7 days if the RSPCA hot roast chicken is unavailable during certain hours, as stipulated on signage in the deli area of the store. This promise is available in most stores nationwide. However, as there are different trading hours by state and store, different stores have different time periods on their signage. So basically you can get one.
It's like a Law and Order. It's so serious.
So it depends which Coles you're shopping at and what the time is. But anyway, it is confirmed. They will give you a free barbecue chook.
Royal Flush of the Week. Time for the best thing we've seen on the internet. Brittney, please kick us off.
A girl named Sarah Balls on TikTok.
Okay.
Her username is My Little Wonderings. Mm-hmm. She popped up on my For You page and she's basically posted about this little story time of hers and she's done a few videos after it and I'm kind of invested in the story now. And I feel like everyone would love this. So in her video, she says that a year ago, she was 28 and she was ready to move out of home for the first time. Have you seen this, Matt?
No.
Oh, I'm surprised you haven't. So she was 28, moving out of home for the first time, and all the while, like, she was single and had been single for quite a few years. And for ages, her mum had been saying to her, you can't find a boyfriend if you don't go put yourself out there, you know, like you have to go out there, meet people, put yourself out into the world. And her mum would say, like, your boyfriend isn't going to show up at your door and be like, hi, I'm your boyfriend. She's like, yeah, whatever, mum. So she was moving out and she didn't want to rent a place on her own. So she'd found a place and then was looking for a housemate. And she only wanted like a girl, like someone similar to her age that also works full time or whatever, and they could kind of be friends. So she put up the listing and no one suitable really applied. If you know what it's like looking for housemates, it can be pretty fucked at times. So anyway, this guy applied. And he seemed really nice in his application. And she was like, oh, I really don't want a guy. Like, I don't want to live with a guy in my first time living out of home. But she thought, oh, what the hell? Like, no one else good has applied. I'll just invite him to the house to come and have a look, see how it goes, like whatever. So they both went to the house one day and she said from the second she saw him, she had a really good vibe about him. He took his shoes off at the front door and he was really polite and really pleasant. And he was asking her questions about if they were to move in together, like how would it work with the plates and cutlery? Like, would he bring his own or would he buy some to match the same as hers? Like, and she said the whole interaction was just like really nice. And she was like, I really like this guy. So she decided, all right, he can move in. And they both moved in together on the same day because I think she was scared to be there by herself. So she waited and they both moved in on the same day. And when they first moved in, like the lawns were all fucked and the gardens needed doing. So he said, do you want me to do the lawns and the garden and stuff? And she was like, oh, yeah, sure. Like if you want to. And she goes, well, you do that and then I'll cook dinner. And so she said from the get-go, it felt like they were husband and wife. Like they didn't feel like they were housemates in this share house. Within 2 to 3 weeks, they'd been hanging out all the time at the house, eating dinner together every night, staying up until midnight, like talking, chatting. And within 2 to 3 weeks, he said to her, I really like you. And she said, I really like you too. Do you want to be my boyfriend? And then he was like, okay. So they literally just became boyfriend and girlfriend by moving in together. And then she said, so Mum, it turns out I can find a boyfriend just knocking at my door. And that's their cute little love story. Now, they've been together for over a year and she's since done other video updates, like telling other little stories. You'll have to look it up. But it's the most, and she's like really cute. It's just the most wholesome thing that I've seen. And what a story. Don't you reckon that's so
That was
cool?
lovely.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
And it made me think of a story that I have from when I lived out of home, moved out of home. I've lived in many. Have you lived like in share houses?
No, I've only ever lived with friends.
How did that end?
Great for the most part. Yeah, every friend that I've lived with, we're still friends to this day, but we may have had a little bit of a break after living together. But we're friends again now.
My advice to anyone that's moving out of home is to never live with your friends. Never work with your friends and never live with your friends. Give or take, it can work for some people, but it just never fucking works because it's just a different dynamic. But anyway, I've got a quick little funny story for you, which I can't believe I haven't told on this podcast. I asked you if you'd heard this before and you were like, I don't think so.
No, I don't think you've told it on the podcast.
At one stage, I lived in a share house that was 4 bedrooms. So it was myself and my sister and a guy and a girl. Not the guy that would smoke bongs in the bedroom with the glass house candle. I told that story on here, right?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
But it was another...
Imagine if you didn't. Just drop that bomb.
It's another guy. Anyway... My sister was waitressing at the time, so her body clock was all off, you know, staying up super late and sleeping until like lunchtime every day. And this was when I was in my this is when I just quit my job and done YouTube full time. So I was just living my best YouTuber life, coming down to Sydney quite often. We had this random housemate that we found on like Gumtree. I don't know where we found him.
Craigslist. Remember Craigslist?
Yes.
Bloody hell.
We found him on literally on Gumtree. And he lived with us for months, but we didn't know all that much about him. We only knew his first name. We didn't know his last name. We knew we knew he was an
Did he sign a lease?
Nah, I think it was just like move in and give us $100 a week or whatever.
Reckon?
Yeah, this was fucking 10 years ago. This was a really long time ago, okay? We were desperate.
Oh, God.
And my sister had become quite good friends with him, but he didn't have any social media either. That was the other thing. So that's why we didn't know that much about him. And he wasn't from Newcastle. He was
murderer vibes.
Yes. But my sister, like, took a liking to him and they were, like, friends. Weird. They would eat together, like, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, one day I was coming down to Sydney for something. What are you laughing
I'm
about?
just laughing at this story because I'm going, where is this going?
Come on, it's a good story, okay? I promise I'll get there, okay? Quick. Matt wants to talk.
I'm getting fidgety up here.
It's a good story. Woke up one day, went to Sydney. I don't know what I was coming down here to do. A YouTube collab, who knows? This was so long ago. Came home. Why are you fucking laughing?
Get to the point.
I've got to tell the whole story. Shut the fuck up. I came home in the early afternoon. My sister had not long got up because she's still in her pajamas.
We really need to know that.
Yes, because wait, for fuck's sake. I asked, where's Luke? Because that was his name. And she said, I haven't seen him. He must be still in his room because his door was shut. Then it got to like 5 o'clock in the evening. He still hadn't come out of his room. We're starting to get a little bit worried. So we're like, we're going to have to go fucking knock on his door and see if he's asleep. Is he dead? We don't know. So we go to his room, knock on the door, no answer. This is a bit scary. Like, what the fuck do we do? So we just slowly cracked the door open. The room was completely empty.
Nothing in there.
His bed, mattress, every bit of furniture, the room was spotless. Completely empty. He had moved out in the day while my sister was asleep because that's how fucked her sleeping pattern was.
And
she didn't hear a
anything.
thing. She didn't hear a thing. And we had his number. We're messaging him like, is everything okay? Like, he would have dragged his whole bed and everything out. His room was next to Emma's room. She didn't hear a thing. We tried to call him. We tried messaging him. Gone.
Well, you never heard from him again.
Never, ever again.
That is so random. And you
Yes.
don't even know his last name.
Nope.
We can't even do a call out. We can't
Nah.
do anything.
Nah.
If anyone knows a Luke that lived with Brittney and Emma 10 years
And
ago.
he was like an
paid $100
electrician and he wasn't from Newcastle. If anyone knows
Oh
him,
my
he was a bit
gosh.
like surfy-ish looking and he was just gone. I don't even know where he's from. He's from like a country town. But anyway, that's my funny story. So that's a good story.
It's worth it in the end, yeah. No.
Sorry to put you through that, Matt. Well, what's your fucking royal flush?
I forgot we were still on this. I'm about to wrap this podcast episode up, mate. We've been talking for too fucking long. Okay, so my royal flush, thankfully, is a quick one, and I don't have a story to back it up. But I saw a TikTok the other day, which was just one of those TikToks where they just put music and then a bit of text over the top. But it had this quote that was like so impactful to me. I feel like it gave me clear skin, clear mind. My nails grew, my hair's healthy, everything's good because it just is one of those quotes that just like fixed my entire life, right? And the quote is, or the TikTok says, my therapist once told me, imagine you were bit by a snake and instead of trying to help yourself heal and recover from the poison, you're trying to catch the snake to find out the reason it bit you, to prove to it that you didn't deserve that.
Very true.
That was a lot. Hopefully that made sense to everyone.
I love it.
But basically I'll mansplain it for you.
Yes.
So this hit me hard because I feel like, you know, when you get hurt by someone, you
Go out of your way.
Like me, I go out of my way to be like, excuse me, no, that's unfair. I shouldn't have been treated that way. You shouldn't have done that to me. Like blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
When realistically, I should just be spending my time healing from the hurt and getting rid of them. You don't go chase the snake after it's bitten you.
Exactly right.
Mind-blowing shit right there.
Everyone
love.
needs to think of that the next time someone does something wrong by you.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like when I was young, like a little teenage idiot, and you'd get your heart broken, then you'd fucking be calling them, blowing up their phone. Please, I just want
Sending
to
them
talk.
messages.
Like, why?
Sending paragraph
It's
after
embarrassing.
paragraph.
Don't
Yeah.
do that.
And you know what? If that's the thing, you wouldn't chase a snake if it hurts you. So
Don't
if you're
chase
mad
that
I got
guy.
2 tickets to 2 shows, work on healing yourself. Don't come after me. Well, this week we had some devastating news. It was a bad week for the arts, Darl. It was a bad week for the arts. We had Fair Day, which is the opening day of Mardi Gras here in Sydney, which is our Pride Festival. The first weekend of Mardi Gras, we always have Fair Day, which is in a big park in Sydney, and it usually attracts like 50 to 100,000 people, and we all celebrate the start of Pride season. It was cancelled because there was bloody asbestos in the mulch in the park.
What the fuck? How does that happen?
They put mulch in the park about a month ago, and it's now, they've worked out, it probably has got asbestos in it.
How?
I don't know. I'm not a scientist.
That just reminded me as
That's
well.
what's happened.
Sorry to butt in. Do you remember that video on YouTube from when we were really young, and it was that guy that did muffins, and then he went through all the different flavours of muffins? Bits of glass muffin. And like, do you remember that?
No.
And then it was like, I'm baking muffins asbestos I can. You don't remember? It's the same guy that did Shiz.
Yes, I know.
Shiz. And
no,
then it was
you know
like,
what's so weird? I watched that literally like 4 days ago with Toby. Like, we watched that video, the muffins video.
Did you?
Yes. Because we watched Shoes first, and then that was suggested.
Yeah.
That is weird.
And I'm baking muffins as best as I can.
I don't think I watched it all the way through. I think we got like 12 seconds in and went, maybe another time. Anyway, bad week for the arts. Fair Day got cancelled, and Groove and the Moo was cancelled.
And they just put a massive billboard up in Newcastle. I drive past most days. I'm like, what a waste. I could have had a fate one up there instead.
Well,
or a high scrollers billboard could have been up there.
Seriously? Yeah, when are we getting that, by the way? I love to email Nova and get them onto that.
Yes.
But basically, Groove and the Moo, for anyone who doesn't know, is a festival, a regional festival, they call it. It goes around Australia because it doesn't go to our major cities. It goes to like, where does it go up in Newcastle?
Usually Maitland, which is, the Hunter. But I think it was going to be like right in town this year, like on the beach.
Really?
Like on the foreshore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's so random. Well, they announced the lineup and tickets probably like 10 days, I'd say, before they made the decision to cancel it. So they announced the lineup. A lot of people were very underwhelmed by the lineup.
Yes.
And even when I looked at it, I kind of looked at it and went, oh, like I've either seen all those people before or I don't know who they are. And the people I have seen before, I've actually seen 3 or 4 times because they play all the festivals.
So
you know what I mean?
they didn't have enough big headliners to pull in the ticket sales?
I think so. And it was just weird. I just saw a few like people there that I was like,
Who were the biggest acts? Do you know?
I think Alice in Wonderland.
Okay.
Who, like, I'm pretty sure I've seen before. And I don't know, I just didn't think it had a big enough draw. I mean, not that I would even go to a festival these days. My festival days are well and truly behind me. Hello, I went to 3.5 hours at Taylor Swift. I've got blisters all over me, bloody feet.
You wore stilettos.
Well,
what are you, like, how did you even walk?
Well,
Like, isn't the ground like that thing that they stick together? Like
yeah,
those,
Australia's biggest glamazon doll, you know.
like, were your heels digging down with every step?
Well, I don't know, because my ankles and actually my knees as well were so numb and full of fluid from doing that I just had no pain. I honestly felt like a fairy as I was walking
just floating
home.
through.
She was a fairy because my legs were so numb and like literally my left knee is so full of fluid still to this day, swollen just from the pain of doing that.
That's another reason why you should deserve to go again, because you could wear flats.
And I will be. Please,
you
I
could
will
wear
be.
sneakers.
And you know what? It actually worked out as well because about a year ago I bought, sorry, we're back on Taylor Swift, but about a year ago I bought an outfit just because I loved the outfit.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to wear it when we go on Friday.
Okay.
Because it actually makes fucking sense.
Right.
So I'm very excited. So I didn't even plan a second outfit, but I've got one because I haven't worn the one in my wardrobe. Anyway, back to Groove in the Moo. Come on. Taylor's taken over everything today.
I remember I went to Groove in the Moo when I would have been maybe just 18.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the last one I went to because, I'm way too old now. And I remember I thought I was so cool. I got a last-minute invite off this girl that I was friends with at the time. And I thought it was so cool because she got free tickets because she was hooking up with one of the guys in Short Stack. So we were going with the Short Stack.
Okay,
3 guys. Is it Andy? Is that one of them?
Yeah.
She was hooking up with him. And I last minute needed an outfit because I didn't have any festival clothes. And she was like she had sleeve tattoos and she was quite like metal. And
metal militia.
Yes, And so I was still a bit metal militia then, but not fully. But lucky I stopped being friends with her because she was heavily tattooed. And you know how you kind of like are who you hang out with?
Yeah.
At one stage there, I had like a couple of little tattoos, but she was really trying to convince me to get like
full sleeve.
Yeah, and I was considering it at one point there. So lucky I stopped hanging out with her. And so I needed like a cool metal looking outfit. I obviously owned no clothes that looked like that, but I thought that's what I wanted to be. Mm-hmm. So I went to Kmart, got a men's t-shirt and like an oversized t-shirt. I cut out cut the sleeves off and made like one of those singlets that has a low side so I could wear like a bra underneath, and because I've got this fugly tattoo of a rose on my rib, so that could be showing. Like, ew, look at this. So I had that, and then what I did was got like another old shirt because the men's t-shirt was black, so then I got a white t-shirt. I cut a massive cross out of this fabric, like a cross. And then I stitched it on upside down cross.
Well done. We're both going to hell.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And so I thought I was the coolest person ever because I got to go like VIP with short stack and I had a upside down cross on my
I did go
shirt.
through an upside down cross face as well.
And I'm pretty sure I wore rosary beads.
Yeah, right. Okay. So really just twisting the knife, doll. Okay. Nice. Anyway, Groove in the Mood. The point of the fact of the matter is the lineup wasn't great in people's opinions. The cost of living, obviously, it's harder to buy a ticket to a festival with everything else we've got to pay for. And when you don't bring like a stellar lineup, like no one's going to pay for...
I know, but isn't it a bit sad because weren't they saying like it's more about supporting like the smaller local talent, but like that's not enough to get the ticket sales in, which is kind of sad.
Yeah, for sure. There's even a conspiracy theory floating around on Threads, which is where I saw it, which, by the way, I looked at your Threads last night because I've been trying to get back into it.
I need to try.
Yeah, you haven't posted in 9 weeks, and then 9 weeks ago you did a thread that
about
said
I hadn't done a thread in a long
posted
time.
in 5 months. So I'm on Threads and I'm kind of loving it because it's still, remember when it first came out, it was really nice?
Yes.
It's still really nice. So I'm loving it.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I feel like I'm talking into the void over there. Like no one's really speaking back yet.
Is the only people on there like the people that are posting on there, you know what I mean? Like is it a place
I feel like it's very content creator heavy.
Yeah, like it's just the people that want to grow on there that are posting on there.
It's kind of like it's like the LinkedIn of Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's like a LinkedIn Twitter. Yeah. Because it's like it's Threads, but it's very LinkedIn. It's very professional almost.
Oh.
You can be silly on there, but like, I don't know. Threads is weird vibes. I'm so sorry. Kirsty, BB, my reps at Meta. I know you're going to hate me, but Threads is weird vibes, but I'm trying to get into it. I'm trying my best over here, okay? They're scrollers, so they'll love that. Basically, there's a conspiracy theory floating around that I saw on Threads that Fuzzy Entertainment, allegedly.
Who's that?
They are a big entertainment company in Australia. It's Fuzzy. They bought Groove in the Moon not long ago, and they run a couple of other bigger festivals. And the conspiracy theory is, not my conspiracy theory, I saw this on the internet, allegedly. I'm not getting sued.
Just cancelled.
Is that Fuzzy actually on purpose like did a shit lineup so that it wouldn't sell, so that they could cancel it and then get rid of it so that they could focus on their bigger... They've basically bought Groove in the Moo
to get rid of it.
Allegedly, not my thing. I just saw it on the internet. Allegedly, I'm not getting sued.
Just a conspiracy.
But that's a conspiracy theory floating around at the moment, which, I mean, obviously I don't know, but to announce only 10 days after tickets go on sale, especially in the world of ticketing, we know that, like for me personally doing live shows and things like that, there's obviously a huge peak at the start and then it kind of trickles, and then it usually you get your last ticket sales in maybe the last fortnight. For big festivals who have a high demand, like obviously they sell out really, really quickly. But like for the most part, like they might get a huge peak at the start and then it like kind of just trickles throughout the next couple of weeks, and then everyone rushes at the last minute because don't forget it's very hard these days as well to like plan what's happening. so far in advance. Like I
Yeah.
can see with my Sydney shows that are coming up in May, the response this year compared to a few years ago is so different in the trend of people buying tickets. And I think it's got a lot to do with the cost of living because, one, people weren't prepared. So people might not have been prepared to spend that much money on Groove in the Mood ticket. So they've got to then like allocate that in their budget, which is going to take a few weeks to actually get the money and buy. And also, like, in this day and age, there are so many other things that people want to prioritize. So I know for a fact that my shows will probably still have tickets available to them till the week before, because people on Wednesday might go, well, actually, I'm not doing anything Friday night, so I will buy a ticket this Friday.
Yep.
Whereas like committing to that now, what else is going to come up in May? Something much more important than me, doll. You know what I mean? So I can like understand the trend has definitely changed. The good thing about my last shows was I did it straight after COVID. So people
Everyone
were
was
hungry.
eager.
So like 5 shows sold out in 2 days because they were like, we're hungry to get out of the house and go and see something and do something.
COVID doesn't even feel real looking back on it.
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck?
So the landscape's definitely changed. And I feel for Groove in the Mood, but also 10 days after putting tickets on sale, that is
Their ticket sales must have been real low.
they must, like 12 tickets surely have been sold because I'm going, why would you call it that soon? Apparently I was talking
There's got
to
to be
one of
more
the...
to it.
Yeah, well, I was talking to one of the performers and they said that they basically were told that it would have cost them more to cancel later than if they cancelled now. So they were like, we may as well just pull the plug. Still seems like a really like rash decision.
It does.
In my opinion, but what do I know? I just host a podcast. You got to say your line, doll.
Well. Another episode done and dusted, Matt.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you so much, scholars, for listening to this week's episode. Don't forget, we upload twice a week now, so we've got Close Friends on Fridays for you. Make sure you turn on your notifications so you don't miss an episode.
And I know we always say this, but if you've made it this far, please,
Oh my God.
rate us 5 stars.
Anyway, doll, I better let you go. Got to go get ready for my second Taylor Swift show.